Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo. Thank you so much for sponsoring me, first of all. And if you guys would like some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. And on your next $49 plus order, you can get 5% off with the code MEME. And if it's $99 plus, you can get 10% off with the same code MEME. MEME. Anywho, roll the intro. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Was Betrayed Part 3 finale. This is actually recorded an hour later. That was not English, but an hour later from part 2. And yeah, I'm going to finish off within 2 days because I actually want to get this ahead of myself for videos. So I'm going to be one video ahead each time because it gets tiring recording daily, and one video for that one day. I'd rather have one video ahead in case one day I just want to take a rest and have some me time. But anywho, last time we left off with Naruto, of course. Beginning the second part of the exam, and Naruto is just going to try until the preliminaries, and then he's just going to give up. He doesn't want to be a Chunin, like I said before. But anywho, of course, he doesn't go to do his business here because Naruto really doesn't need to, since it's a new Naruto. But anywho, of course, now while they were actually going, they still get attacked by this one shinobi, which is Orochimaru. But of course, no one really knows about Orochimaru being in the training exams in the first place. But of course, Naruto telling Sasuke to deal with it, because Sasuke does have the 2 Tomoe Sharingan by now, and he's actually a bit weaker than Naruto. In fact, if Sasuke unlocks the 3 Tomoe Sharingan, he's actually going to be stronger than Naruto. But of course, right now it can't happen, and since Naruto hasn't been training much, then of course, Sasuke begins the fight against Orochimaru, while Sakura actually aids Sasuke by actually using her superhuman strength, which she actually found out that she had. But anywho, of course, Naruto was just literally sitting against a tree and just watching the fight, because he really cannot be asked at this point. He's given up. He's really given up. He doesn't care about his ninja life at this point. It's all over for him. He doesn't care about it. But of course, now, as he was watching the fight, he could see that Sakura was getting tired. Of course, Naruto really didn't care, but since he wants at least his team to get to the individual fights, he is not going to allow them to lose this fight. And so when Sakura gets tired, he thinks to himself that Sasuke will be more than enough to take care of this one. But then out of nowhere, Sasuke falls to the ground while Naruto was actually looking towards Sakura, and out of nowhere, Sasuke screams in pain, and what happened is that Sasuke was bitten by Orochimaru, and Naruto didn't notice. Of course, Naruto then went towards Sasuke with Sakura, and Orochimaru was just laughing at this point, and Naruto realized that there is a mark on Sasuke, and so just saying, I may be a bit silent because it's actually 12:46 and I couldn't sleep for some reason, and that's not the reason why I'm recording it. And then Naruto, of course, realizing that he must have done something, he tells Sakura to take Sasuke away, and to do it fast or she'll just get in his way at this point. And Sakura just listens because Naruto says it in an empathetic way. Of course, now Naruto just looks at Orochimaru and says, You really piss me off. And of course, you know, the only reason he's doing saying this is because Naruto really didn't want to fight in the first place. And you know, Orochimaru just laughs, saying that, "What are you going to do, kiddo, huh?" And you know, Naruto just then says, "Maybe kill you, not sure yet." But of course, now Naruto actually, uses a body flicker to actually, body flicker himself in front of, in front of Orochimaru, and Orochimaru is completely baffled on how Naruto is so fast. I know he knows that it's the body flicker, but Naruto was so fast that even he couldn't keep up for some reason, and that's impressive. That's really impressive. Orochimaru is one of the legendary Sannin, and can currently put up a fight against um the third Hokage, who's actually the strongest Kage, and yeah, of course now Orochimaru's completely baffled, but Naruto then actually kicked him, kneed him to the face, and then actually backflip by kicking him in the chin, and Orochimaru kind of went flying there, and yeah, something that Gogeta did against Janemba. If you guys don't know, I'll actually put a clip here. Yes, I'll put a clip. Anyway, it was a bit acrobatic, but after this, Orochimaru realized that this kid is no joke, and basically actually takes him seriously, and basically Naruto lets out, one kunai, and that kunai multiplicates, Naruto doesn't even say the jutsu name or any hand seals, he just duplicates, and, Orochimaru says, not too much of a talkative one, are you? And basically, as he says that he actually dodges all the kunais, then basically he actually does notice the string, but once the string actually starts tightening up, Orochimaru tries to cut it, but Naruto has saw that coming from a mile away, and basically now Naruto used lightning release on it, and basically created a lightning. Once Orochimaru tried to cut it, he actually touched the lightning with his kunai, which then the kunai being metal, and metal is a conductor of electricity, then electrocuted Orochimaru, and Orochimaru was out there, and basically then Naruto jumped up in the air again, and literally did a massive fireball jutsu, which actually engulfed Orochimaru, and Orochimaru was scorched, and basically Orochimaru realized that he needs to escape. This kid is no joke, and once he escaped, Naruto went to Sakura, and he waited there with Sakura until Sasuke woke up, and the sound trio came, and Naruto was just toying with them until then they actually use that sound thing, sound wave thing, and basically then Sasuke woke up and destroyed all of them, while Naruto was just watching, and basically Sasuke tried to attack Naruto, and basically Naruto paralyzed him on the spot just by looking at Sasuke, literally glaring at Sasuke in a way that he's about to kill him, and Sasuke literally got so shook that he stopped in his tracks, and basically Naruto's like, "Are you sure you want to fight me, Sasuke Uchiha? Are you?" And basically, he's just looking at him like a serial killer or something, someone who just killed, another human being. And basically, Sasuke literally, he was so scared that even the curse mark, went off. He turned off. He deactivated it. And basically, Sasuke says, "What was he doing?" And basically, Naruto just says, "Let's go. We need to get to the tower as soon as possible. I don't want to stay in here anymore. There are too many snakes." And of course, he's referring to Orochimaru, and of course, he doesn't know it's Orochimaru, but he did look like a snake, and also all the other, massive creatures like snakes. Anyway, now in Naruto, of course, arriving at the stone thing, at the tower, Sakura still deciphers the code, just like in the original, and yeah. Now they get into the tower, and Sakura tells Kakashi about what happened to Sasuke, and yeah. I'm going to take a break. It's 1 a.m. I'm gonna go sleep, and I'm going to record the rest tomorrow. Yeah, anywho, in a few hours, anywho, see ya. Anywho, after my break, it's actually 8:30 p.m. now, and of course it's been a while, near enough a full day. But anywho, of course, after Kakashi seals the of course, before Kakashi seals the curse mark away, and now a few days later, it was actually the preliminaries. Of course, they had to hold preliminaries because of the amount of people being in the tuning exams this year. The Hokage had to hold preliminaries, and people didn't really mind it. Anywho, now they will have the best of the best in the tuning exams. But anywho, now after this, Naruto, who really couldn't be asked, he just just says that, oh, preliminaries, huh? Whatever. As long as I lose, I don't have to fight afterwards. And of course, no, pretty much everyone hears this, and Naruto's name comes up first, and Naruto's like, oh, look at that. Oh, I must get lucky today. Tsuki, are you ready? And of course, Tsuki just looks at Naruto, and she's like, Naruto, you better not go easy. And as she says this, Naruto's like, just come and fight me already. It doesn't really matter to me who was going to fight me, even if they were weak. I'd let them win. Sorry, nearly choked on my spit again. I'm joking, but anywho, of course, Tsuki then asks Naruto why is he doing all of this, and Naruto just replies with a vague answer saying that, I told you, I don't have anything to do with this title of being a chunin. There's no need of becoming a chunin anymore. And basically, Tsuki brings up Naruto's old dream to become Hokage, and Naruto then just glares at Tsuki saying that, never bring that dream up again. I told you, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Why should I fight? Just kick me already, so I can just fake I lost. And of course, then Tsuki then says that she doesn't want to fight. Naruto can win. She doesn't want to fight him, and of course, then Naruto just says, so you're just gonna leave it like that? I'm just gonna let the next person win, and the next person is not gonna be as lenient as you. And of course, now the fight didn't even start yet, and they were just talking and just saying Tsuki's versing Naruto because Kiba's not here and she's replacing Kiba herself. But anyway, of course, then Shikamaru just shouts at Naruto saying, Naruto, fight already. Everyone here just wants to see you fight. No one really cares about your quarrel. Just do it. And Naruto then just says, alright then, let's begin. And Tsuki, now, she's not going to go easy on Naruto or anything. But anyway, of course, the fight begins by Tsuki actually blitzing Naruto, and Naruto last second, just giving up, and in the end, getting kicked right in the stomach, and this one hurt, and Naruto felt it real good. And yeah, Tsuki realized that Naruto let it happen, and he went flying, but Naruto wasn't out of the fight yet, and Naruto's like, you should have done a bit harder, not gonna lie. And Naruto then just says, maybe next time break a few ribs so I don't have to fight anymore as a ninja. And this actually startled a lot of people, because it didn't really startle them, but surprised a lot of people, like Kakashi. Kakashi knew that Naruto's dream was to become Hokage, and Tsuki thought that Naruto was just a bit depressed, but at this point it's just gone too far. Like, Naruto told her to harm him in a way that it could injure him for the rest of his life. And then the Hokage then just says, alright, Tsuki's the winner, Naruto, you lose. And of course, at this point Naruto's like, ugh, really, I didn't even give up. Why did you stop the fight, Hokage? It's not fair. And the Hokage then says, we can't allow a suicidal fight to go to go here. And then Naruto's like, suicidal, really? Do you really think that would kill me? Just a few ribs. It wouldn't really kill, It would just hurt me. Of course, in a way that I can't be a ninja anymore. But it'll just be better for everyone. After all, the whole entire village doesn't want me to be a ninja. They think I'm a threat to them. So, is there really a point? Or maybe you're just using me as a tool. Whenever you need me, you can just unleash the Nine Tails out of me and just destroy whoever comes across you. Is that why? And now the Hokage, Naruto's taken it too far, and he's actually been taken away, and Naruto then just says, oh well, whatever, I'll see you. I'll be watching the fight. maybe. Anywho, now of course Naruto was escorted, to the stands, and of course Sakura was like, "What happened, Naruto? You used to be so energetic. Now, just why?" And basically, Naruto then just says, "Win your fight. I'll be expecting you to be in the finals at least. Even you, Sasuke. I don't care what happened to you in the Forest of Death. You're more than strong enough to beat anyone here. Well, of course not Shikamaru, Choji, and Tsuki. Those three are on a different league. But if you're lucky enough to verse anyone else, maybe you'll win." And of course, in the end, Conqueror actually lost to, I'll say he lost to Choji, and the sound trio. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that, but I'll just say that they were all knocked out, and the double knockout was actually between one of the sound, the girl from the sound trio and the other dude, not the leader of them, but the other guy that got killed by Gara, and then that was the double knockout. Neji won the fight easily because even though Hinata was a prodigy, Neji is way stronger than her, and in the end he wins. And yeah, that one the same. Lee got annihilated as per normal, and Naruto wasn't even there to watch the fight. He actually left by then. He saw that Sasuke won his fight, and Naruto has had enough, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to sleep. I've been here for my two teammates to win. Now I can go. After all, I lost already. Anywho, I'll see you." And of course, Tsuki, who has seen, her two friends win already, she actually goes off as well, and she actually follows Naruto. And of course, Naruto doesn't really notice Tsuki following him, but it doesn't really matter. Even if he noticed her, it's not like he could stop her. And Tsuki can do whatever she wants. In Naruto eyes, it doesn't matter at this point, and he just wants to go home and sleep. He just wants to sleep forever. To be honest, after what happened, Naruto really doesn't have any more dreams, any more ambitions. All he had, it's all gone. And now, Tsuki, who followed Naruto all the way home, she saw Naruto actually heading inside, and Tsuki couldn't really break in now, could she? Of course she could, but really that's just, breaking and entering, and plus that's violation of people's privacy, and Tsuki is not a criminal. But anyway, of course Tsuki actually went off on her own now, and she was saddened. She was saddened that Naruto would do this, and would even say something like that. Of course, Naruto, was kind of depressed. She knew that at least, but after this, that just went to a whole different level. He wanted her to, hurt him to an extent where he can't fight anymore. He can't be a ninja anymore, and that kind of startled her. Out of all of them, out of everyone's shock, Tsuki's shock was the biggest one out of everyone's, since she wasn't expecting Naruto to say something like this, and she always thought that Naruto wanted to become a ninja. Well, not a ninja, but become Hokage one day. And now look at him wanting one of his own friends, to hurt him to an extent where he can't even be a ninja anymore. And that hurt her, what I mean. But anyway, of course, Tsuki, out of frustration, she just kept training and training and training until her body couldn't take it anymore. And by this time, Shikamaru and Choji were just watching her train so hard until she started bleeding from her hands and everything. And Shikamaru and Choji had to stop at that point, and they just tell Tsuki to calm down. There's no need to harm herself just over this. And they just say that Naruto must be going through a hard time too. They need to allow him to have his own space. And Tsuki then just says, "It's fine, I'll let him have his own space. I won't visit him anymore. There's no point. Naruto doesn't want me to visit him." And of course, at this point, Shikamaru was getting really frustrated. Both of them were really, they're thinking their own way. They're not thinking, about others at this point. Like, he doesn't care if they don't think about him. But, Choji can see that Shikamaru is getting frustrated by this situation. And so, Shikamaru just tells Choji to take Tsuki home, and while he goes, do something. And, Choji, right before Shikamaru left, just says, "Shikamaru, Allow Naruto. It's fine. He'll get over this. You need to allow him to get over this on his own. If we are with him, then it will just depend on us. Do you not understand? And Shikamaru's like, even you, Choji. Whatever. This is just a drag. And of course, then he goes home too after dropping off Tsuki, and Tsuki being depressed. She really doesn't want to train for the next month, and in the end, it's been a full week, and Tsuki hasn't trained at all. And while Sasuke was actually training real hard, even Sakura was training, and Sakura. Well, no, Sakura would have to go up against Neji, since Neji won his fight. The double knockout was between the two, the two sound the shinobi. But anywho, of course, now Sasuke is fighting. He's still fighting Gaara. Tsuki is actually versing. Tsuki is versing Neji, and wait, I'm stupid. Sorry, Sakura is versing Choji. Neji is versing Tsuki, and Tsuki is going to take advantage of that to get a bit of revenge, and Sasuke is versing Gaara, and Shikamaru is versus Temari as always. But anywho, and did I mention Shino? Shino is versing. Wait, I'm an idiot. Let me quickly do the maths. Let me do the maths. 1 second. Yeah, so I did something wrong. I'm pretty sure there were only 4 fights, but I'm not going to, strain my brain to think about this. And I CBA doing some research right now because I just want to record while I'm still in the mood for it. Yes, sometimes I have mood swings just like cats, and I just don't feel like recording at that point. But anyway, so I'm just going to say that even Shino got a double knockout against, the Sound trio leader. And, in the end, he still got killed, by Gaara. But anyway, of course, now Naruto, finally getting out of his home after a full week, sees that someone's actually waiting outside his door, and sees Shikamaru. And then Shikamaru just says, finally woke up, haven't you? And basically, Naruto's like, go away. And Shikamaru just says that you call Naruto, you're just being selfish at this point. And basically, Naruto just looks at Shikamaru and says, did I ever ask her? Did I ever ask her to worry about me? How many times do I have to tell you, leave me the hell alone? And at this point, I told you to forget about me. You just have to forget about me ever existing, just like the villagers did. It doesn't really matter to me. After all, this is all what the village wants. In the end, I'm still helping the village in a way. After all, they wanted me gone, and now I'll be gone. And of course, Shikamaru then just says, Naruto, how many times do we have to tell you? No matter what the villagers say, we're still your friends. And Naruto then says, you know something? I never really wanted you guys as friends. I didn't want anyone as friends, to be honest. In reality, I just wanted to be alone. Do you not understand that? Now that I have the chance to be alone, just leave me be. Please. This is one last request. Not as a friend, not as Naruto, not as the Ninetales Jinchuriki, not as a demon, but as a human being. Just leave me alone. And Shikamaru then just says, you thick-headed dickhead. And of course, as he says that, he actually goes to punch Naruto. And, Naruto then says, is that all you wanted to do? If he is, just go now. And, then Shikamaru, starts, beating Naruto. And Naruto just takes it, saying that, since, Naruto knows that Shikamaru is pretty pissed off, Naruto just doesn't care. He's allowing Shikamaru to do all of this to him. And, in the end, Choji, who was usually actually he was actually training with Shikamaru during this 1 month, and he actually came to see where Shikamaru was since he's coming late. And Shikamaru just told Choji that he'll be coming, just go and told him to go ahead. And now he's beating Naruto, and Choji actually stops the fight and says, why are you doing this, Shikamaru? And basically, Shikamaru's like, let's go, that it's been enough. And Naruto, with a bloody face, Choji apologizes in behalf of Shikamaru. And Naruto just says, just go away, Choji, it doesn't matter to me what you do to me. After all, this is what I've been through my whole life. It's just tradition at this point. Anywho, I'll see you. And Naruto stands up and actually walks off on his own. And Choji actually, gets a bit pissed off at Shikamaru, and tells him that Shikamaru is an idiot and he shouldn't have done that. You know, this is just amplifying Naruto's hate towards the village, and hate towards himself, because he will just think that it's a good thing that he's giving up on everything. And Shikamaru just says, leave it, let him be, let him do whatever he wants. I've had enough. And now the full friends are broken up at this point. Shikamaru and Choji are still friends, but Naruto at this point is really not their friend anymore, since he doesn't hang out with them anymore. He doesn't really talk to them at this point. He's just a shy. But anyway, Naruto came out of the house because he hasn't eaten in a week, and all he's been doing is just sleeping and drinking water. He doesn't have any food at home left. He hasn't done groceries since the land of waves up, and the last time he ate was actually on the day of the tuning exams, right before he came home. And yeah, it's been a week, and so he wants to eat. He hasn't eaten. Anywho, now Naruto going to the Ichiraku ramen, and he's going to take away and just go eat at his own place. He actually bumps into someone. Of course, Jiraiya was told of what happened during the time he was gone, and Jiraiya was completely baffled on how the village could be so cruel to Naruto. And of course, he doesn't really want to blame anyone except for himself for not being there for Naruto when Naruto needed it the most, and he kind of blames himself for everything that happened to Naruto. And of course, now he actually sees Naruto, and he asks Naruto if he's Naruto's mark, even though he clearly knows that he is. And Naruto just says, anyone who asks me that definitely knows that I'm Naruto. What do you want, geezer? And of course, as he says that, then Jiraiya then just says, oh well, I just wanted to see something. And as he says that, Naruto raises an eyebrow, and then Jiraiya tries to attack Naruto, but then Naruto blocks it with one hand, and Naruto says, really, you just wanted to hurt me? You should have just asked me if you wanted to. I would have just allowed you to stab me, do anything to me, as long as you would end me, as long as you would end my ninja life. Anywho, I'll be going now. Anywho, of course, Naruto walking away, Jiraiya was completely baffled on why Naruto asked him to end his ninja career. And anywho, now, of course, Jiraiya then asks Naruto why he actually wants, his ninja life to end. And basically, Naruto just says that he's had enough. It'll just be better for the village, since, they just want him to be gone as a ninja. And, if he just becomes a normal villager, then they might just leave him alone for once, and let him just be a normal human being. And Naruto has high hopes to actually become a normal villager at this point. He doesn't care. And of course, then Jiraiya asks, does he not have any friends or anything? And Naruto says, well, friends, I guess I did once, but I was pretty rude to them, told them to go away, and never talk to me again. Seen one today, got punched a few times, and yeah, then he just left. And Jiraiya then asks why did his friend punch him, and Naruto then just says that he hurt their other friend, and the other friend was hurt apparently. And Naruto just Naruto really didn't care, and he got pissed off, and in the end the other friend left. Anywho, of course, Jiraiya was like, oh, I understand, okay, so I guess you're in a pickle here, aren't you? And basically Naruto just says, don't really care, I really don't. And Jiraiya then asks why he doesn't care, and basically Naruto just says that as long as he's still living, it will just cause pain to everyone in this village. He's already a pain in the ass to the villagers, since he's always making them scared, since they always have him being a ninja in their mind. And he'd rather not be a nuisance and just allow them to live in peace, and not bother them anymore. And not only will that just help the village in a sort of way, in a twisted sort of way, to be honest. And then Naruto just says that if you died, even if you died, the village wouldn't really mind. They would just be happier like that. And something that Naruto has realized is that this world is hateful. This world is not all flowers and everything. Um, it's a world of hate. It's a world of pain, where Naruto just doesn't believe he belongs in, and so he's given up. And at this point, he doesn't care. And Jiraiya then says, "Well, I guess you're right in one point, that this world is full of hate, but you're wrong in the other way. There are still people who would want you to stay alive. For example, your parents. Have you ever wondered what your parents would be thinking if you wanted to die? I'm sure you know who your parents are, right?" And Naruto then just says, "My parents. All I know about them is that they're dead. Anywho, I'll be going now. I'm hungry." And of course, then Jiraiya then says, "Oh, I see. So you don't even know who your parents are. You understand?" And Naruto then says, "Why are you even asking me this? You don't even know me. Go away from me. Are you a pedophile?" And then Jiraiya's like, "Wait, what?" And Naruto then was like, "If you're not, go away." Anyway, of course, now Jiraiya sees Naruto walking away, and then he asks Naruto if he wants to train. And Naruto then says, "Why would I want to train when I want to end my ninja career, my career as a ninja, even though it's not even been a year or something?" And then Jiraiya then says, "Oh well, I was just wondering. Or maybe you're just too scared to fight me." And Naruto's like, raising an eyebrow and says, "Me being scared? Well, you could interpret it that way, but I don't really care. However you want to interpret it, you interpret it." Anywho, of course, now Jiraiya was trying to get at Naruto, since he's heard that Naruto's knuckleheaded and everything, and if he's a knucklehead, he'd probably get pissed off if someone insulted him. But this Naruto, he went from knucklehead to depressed, and so he doesn't really care. And whatever they say, he just believes that maybe he just really is. And anywho, of course, it's a bad way of thinking it. Anywho, and now, of course, Naruto then just says, "Leave me alone already. I just want to go eat and then go back home." And Jiraiya then says, "Oh, you brat." And of course, as he says that, he drags Naruto with him. And at this point, Naruto was like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Can you not just let me be? I just went to eat. I don't even know who you are. Why are you doing this to me? Is this an assault? Is this rape?" I know, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that word, but anyway, of course, now Naruto was getting pretty pissed off at Jiraiya, and Jiraiya's like, "You can interpret it however you want. I don't really care, but you're fighting me, kid." And Naruto's like, "If you're so desperate for a fight, you sure went to Tsuki or someone." And at this point, Naruto is really pissed off, and brings up people's names that Jiraiya could be fighting if he really wants to test himself against a ninja. He doesn't even know if he's a ninja or not, but he shouldn't test himself against Naruto, because Naruto doesn't care. He just let him win anyways. And of course, Jiraiya then says, "Oh well, if you let me win, I'll just kill you. I mean, after all, you do want to live." And Naruto's like, "Oh, I mean, could be a good way to end my life. Anywho, let's begin then." And Jiraiya was completely baffled on why Naruto would even do this. And at first he just thought Naruto was just playing around and he would actually fight him normally. But once the fight actually began, he could see that Naruto really wasn't trying. And every time Jiraiya tried to land a punch on Naruto, Naruto would just stand still and literally get hit by it. And at this point, Jiraiya then asks Naruto, has anything happened to him that made him this depressed? And Naruto's like, "Well, a lot of things that happened in my life, a lot of things that maybe has never crossed your mind of you happening to you, but I guess my life is pretty boring, so I don't think anything happened to me." And anywho, of course, Jiraiya knows that this is a lie. Naruto really got killed a few weeks ago, but anywho, that doesn't really matter now. And anyways, of course, this fight went on for a while. Naruto just allowing Jiraiya to get allowing Jiraiya to hit him. And over time, Jiraiya was getting bored, and so he just tells Naruto, asks Naruto, to be honest, if if Naruto wants to die for real. And as he says that, and just saying, Jiraiya has noticed something in the distance, and that's why he asked Naruto. And Naruto, what the hell's wrong with that motorcycle, fam? But anyway, Naruto then just says, well, yes, I do want to die. I guess I really do. And then he, of course, now Jiraiya then says, alright, then I'll kill you. And of course, Naruto has a smile in his face, finally being able to end it all. He doesn't really care at this point. As long as he dies, it's better for the village, it's better for everyone else. He causes less pain to his friends, the only friends that he's ever had. And he's grateful. And, Naruto, right about to get destroyed by the Rasengan, something that Naruto, wanted to learn when he was, actually trying to become a strong shinobi, just sheds one little tear for his old self. He knows that his old self would want to survive to become, the next Hokage and everything. But anyway, of course, now Jiraiya then says, say goodbye, and Naruto says, oh well, I guess this world hasn't been too cool to me. I've had a few friends in my life. Anyway, goodbye. And as he says that, out of nowhere, three, figures arrive, and as this happened, they, one of them stopped Jiraiya from even moving. The other one literally clamped, Jiraiya with his, massive hand, and the other one actually came in with a fireball jutsu to actually, hit Jiraiya. But then Jiraiya substituted himself, and Naruto, raises his head because he thought he was about to die, but it's taken a bit long, and then he realizes that there are three other people right in front of him, and then he sees who they are, and Naruto's like, you guys again, how many times do I have to tell you, get out of my way? Do you not understand? Do you not get that I don't want to be with you guys anymore? Just get away from me. And of course, Naruto is actually really pissed off at this point. And, they all say, Naruto, listen, you don't understand. You didn't cause us any pain. The more you want to get away from us, the more pain you cause us. Do you not get it? And Naruto then says, well, I told you multiple times when you were younger, do not get involved with me. But now, look at you guys. All of this is happening because of me. Can you not just get away from me? Do you not have your own things to do? You're all qualified for the tuning exams. How about you go train for once? Do you not understand? You have a big exam coming up. You don't want to lose, do you? After all of you want to become tuning. And then they all say, didn't you want to become Hokage though? And Naruto then says, that dream is long gone. It's been dead for a while. In fact, a full month now. But anywho, now get out of my way, or I'll have to fight you myself. And Jiraiya actually noticed all three of them watching this fight. They saw Naruto coming out, and after a while, they told Suki, and Suki actually wanted to see what Naruto was going. And in the end, they followed Naruto until to see this. And once Jiraiya actually got the Rasengan out, which they I knew it was a pretty strong jutsu, especially because they actually recognized that Jiraiya, and they were concerned about Naruto when he just looked down, looked up right before Jiraiya was about to hit him, and then looked back down as if he gave up. And they came in the way because they don't want Naruto to die or anything. They don't want their friend to die. And basically at this point, Naruto was pissed off and he just told them to get away, and it actually started raining. And under the rain, they actually begin a fight. Shikamaru at first, he tries the shadow possession jutsu. He actually gets Naruto, and he's about to say shadow possession shadow possession jutsu complete. And as as those words come out, the shadow possession jutsu gets broken through, and Naruto then says, don't get your hopes high. And as he says that, Naruto actually lets out a bit of lightning and literally tries to attack Shikamaru, because he knows that Shikamaru will be the most annoying one, since he will be the one to always stop him in his tracks. And out of nowhere, a massive hand comes flying at Naruto, and Naruto's like, do you really think that's going to be enough? And as he says that, then Naruto actually throws a kunai, and then they all multiply, and they go around Choji's hand, and in the end they wrap around Choji, because Naruto pulls back on the kunai's the strings, and then he lets out lightning release. But of course, as the lightning was actually going towards and Choji, then Tsuki came out of nowhere and stopped Naruto from even attacking Choji, because she cut off the strings, well, the wires. But anywho, now Naruto saw this coming, and so he's like, well, you fell into my trap. And as he says that, um, a hole emerges from the ground, and Naruto, who was actually, the real Naruto, was actually hiding underground, and he was just waiting for the right opportunity to actually get one of them. And as he says, as he appears, he actually binds Tsuki up, and then just electrocutes her, and Tsuki, actually got hurt by this, and in the end, Tsuki, was paralyzed, and she asked Naruto when he did this, and basically Naruto's like, well, you see, if you had the Sharingan activated from the very beginning, you might have seen me, but you underestimated me too much. Do you not remember who I am? I am the Naruto who was your friend. I know every single trick of yours, but you guys know nothing about me now. Do you not understand? I have the upper hand here. And they all start laughing, and they say, do you really think you have the upper hand? And as they say that, they all actually use body flicker, and basically they say that they've trained with Shisui too, so they all know body flicker perfectly, just like Naruto. And they all, of course, Shikamaru then tries to attack Naruto, and basically Naruto sees that Shikamaru, I keep saying Neji, but anyway, Shikamaru has a kunai, and when Naruto saw this, he just smiles, and then he just lets Shikamaru stab him, and Shikamaru thought he was actually going to dodge, and it was too late for Shikamaru to actually stop in his tracks, and Naruto got stabbed by the kunai. Naruto spewed out a bit of blood, but then he's like, this should be enough. And as he says that, then Jiraiya actually comes out of nowhere and says, that's enough, all of you, stop fighting. And as he says that, Shikamaru lets go of the kunai, and the Jiraiya pulls out, and Naruto's like, alright, thank you guys, I'll be going now. And as he says that, he actually just looks away and disappears. Of course, Naruto is really body flicker. Naruto is known for body flicker at this point. He's actually better than all three of them put together with body flicker, because Naruto has trained for years with it, since he never had good chakra control. And Shikamaru felt guilty for Naruto's injury, since he's the one who caused it in the first place. But then Choji and Tsuki actually just console him, saying that Naruto did that on purpose. He didn't get out of the way because he wanted to get hurt. And basically, Tsuki at this point, she was like, Naruto, why do you always do this? And basically, as she says that, she actually body flickers away, because she wants to go and find Naruto, and basically Shikamaru and Choji just allow it. And basically, Jiraiya wants a full story, because the Hokage said that Naruto went through some traumatic experiences because of the Nine Tails, but he didn't tell him the whole entire truth. And basically, they asked him why they should tell him out of all people. Jiraiya then explains that he is Naruto's godfather. It's just that he's never been there for him, because he had things to do to protect him and the village. And in the end, they understood, and they didn't really blame him for this, because they actually heard a lot of stories about Jiraiya being one of the strongest shinobi that ever came from the leaf, and one that still works with them at all those years later. And he still works for the leaf village to protect everyone in there. And so they know that Jiraiya has always been there to protect the leaf. And so that is the only reason why Shikamaru and Choji trusted Jiraiya with the information, even though they don't really know Jiraiya on a personal level. But then now Jiraiya understood why Naruto is so suicidal. And yeah, anywho, now Jiraiya said that maybe if he was there for Naruto when he was a kid, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Naruto wouldn't have turned out like this. And Shikamaru and Choji then just say, well, that's just a hypothetical. It can't really come true now, can it? And Shikamaru and Choji just look down, realizing that they were his friends, and they should have helped Naruto when he had the chance. Well, they had the chance to, but they came too late, and in the end, what happened to Naruto was inevitable. And yeah, after that, Naruto was depressed ever since. And yeah, now of course, it's been a week since Naruto got stabbed, and he's been bleeding out, and he's actually fainted in his own home. Tsuki tried to get in, and Naruto wasn't losing too much blood. It was just a little cut, but over time, of course, that blood loss is going to get even worse. And anywho, Tsuki at this point she couldn't wait anymore, and so she broke into the house and told Naruto to come out already. And then she had no response, and well, she heard no response, and she was completely baffled on why Naruto wasn't responding now. And so she went into the house and went deeper into the house, and in the end found Naruto on the floor, fainted. And at this point, Tsuki realized that Naruto has been bleeding out for a while, and on the floor Naruto was bleeding. And so Tsuki gets out her bandages, and yeah, she starts wrapping it around the Naruto. And uh, now of course Tsuki takes Naruto to the hospital. And after this, the hospital tells Tsuki that Naruto will be just fine. It's just a bit of blood loss. It's not as bad as it was last time. And now Tsuki didn't tell anyone. She told she made sure that the word didn't get out that Naruto is in the hospital again, because you never know what could happen. But anyway, of course, now the Hokage knows and Jiraiya knows, and it's been 2 weeks now. Tsuki hasn't trained much at all. Of course, during the time Naruto was recovering, she trained. But anyway, once Naruto recovered a week later, which Tsuki has been training for in this whole week, Naruto wakes up to find Jiraiya in front of him, and Jiraiya apologizes to him by commencing a a conversation, or starting a conversation with Naruto, saying that he is Naruto's godfather, and Naruto understood everything. And yeah, of course, Naruto then says, "Well, I guess you're a bit too late. I'm already way too far gone. I'm too suicidal to stop now. And plus, I don't want to stop now. Even if I find out there is someone out there who still loves me, I don't care. I really don't care about anything at this point." And Jiraiya then says, "How about we spend a bit of time, since you really want to die? It's your choice. You can come with me and spend a bit of time with this old man who just wants to spend a bit of time with his, godson." And basically, Naruto just smiles for the first time in a while, and just says, "Just because you are my godfather, no other reason. Understood?" And Naruto, there is another alternative reason for Naruto, is because Naruto, hasn't felt the love of a father or a mother in forever, since he never had one. But of course, Naruto wasn't going to just say that out loud, and so he just accepts Jiraiya's final wish, because Jiraiya can't really do anything about Naruto at this point. Naruto's way too far gone. He knows that himself, and he will try to stop Naruto whenever he tries to do the forbidden. But anyway, now of course Jiraiya and Naruto train for the next whole week, because Jiraiya actually wanted Naruto to at least learn a few things that he wanted to teach Naruto when he actually returned to the village. He was actually looking forward to teaching Naruto, because he heard a lot about Naruto being real strong, and so he was expecting Naruto to actually qualify for the tuning exams. But in reality, Naruto just let Tsuki win. But anyway, a week has passed. Naruto has mastered the Rasengan and the summoning jutsu, and his time with the Jiraiya ended, because Jiraiya really had to leave now. But anyway, Naruto then just says, "It's been fun while it lasted, but anywho, I'll see you in the afterworld. After all, you are pretty old. You will die soon, right? Well, I'll see you another time." Anywho, of course, as he says that, it was on the day of the Chunin exams, and Jiraiya then tells Naruto that once he returns, he will still wants to see him alive one last time. And Naruto then says, "We'll see about that one." And anywho, of course, Naruto is still suicidal. He hasn't shown him much during this week, because he just wanted Jiraiya's wish to come true. One last thing he would do before for someone who actually did want him to loved him. But anywho, of course, Jiraiya wasn't there for Naruto when he needed her most, and Jiraiya was held responsible by himself. But Naruto really didn't care. He didn't care if there was someone out there who actually wanted to take care of Naruto or do anything for Naruto, because he's given up hope. Anywho, now of course Naruto hears all the commotion, all the cheering for the tuning exams, and just saying Sasuke actually appeared on time for once, and I'll say that Sasuke has trained even harder, just to finish his training faster. Since he had the 2-to-1 Sharingan already, he now has the 3-to-1 Sharingan with the Chidori. And anywho, of course, Naruto is not in the finals, and so he hears all the commotion, and he just wants to see one last good fight, before he just ends it all, because he is planning on ending it all today, because of Jiraiya finally leaving, and Naruto fulfilling his last duty as a son, basically. And Naruto was really happy to finally find out that someone in this world really did care for him, not as a friend but as family, and Naruto was happy about it. But anywho, at this point, it's too late. But anywho, now Naruto just goes in, and he sees Tsuki. Tsuki is changed a lot over this time, of training on her own, and he can see something new in Tsuki. Of course, Naruto has never noticed this, but of course he's charmed by anywho. Shikamaru and Choji actually realize that Naruto is in here, and so they go up to him and they ask how Naruto's been, and basically Naruto's then just says, "It's been okay, but anywho, I'm not here to chit chat. I'm only here to watch a few fights and then go." And of course, they can't really trust Naruto, and so they tell Naruto to just sit next to them, and Naruto doesn't really mind it. And during the fight against Naruto and Tsuki and Sakura did really well, and both Shikamaru and Choji were talking about how both of them are really strong, and each one deserves the win. But of course, in the end, Tsuki will prevail because of plot armor and her just being way stronger than Sakura, even though Sakura is strong as hell right now. Anywho, of course, Sakura, I haven't really mentioned much about her, but she learned a lot of genjutsu and from Kuronai, since Tsuki didn't really want to train with her, even though Sakura was gonna verse Tsuki. Kuronai didn't want to decline someone's plead for training, and so Sakura trained with Kuronai, but Kuronai saw that even though Sakura has an affinity for genjutsu, Sakura wasn't really enjoying the training, and so Kuronai did tell Sakura that this will be the only time she will be training her, and plus she believes Sakura could do something better than just training genjutsu, since she doesn't enjoy it in the first place. And Sakura has mentioned that genjutsu is not something that she really enjoys, but there isn't something that she's better at. But anywho, now of course Sakura loses the fight, and Shikamaru and Choji have noticed something, that Naruto hasn't looked away from Tsuki even once. That's something that they've noticed, and they kind of told Naruto that maybe he shouldn't perv at Tsuki. After all, he did cause pain to her, and basically Naruto then just looks at them and glares at them and says, "Do you really think looking at someone fighting is perving? Or you guys must be retarded?" But anywho, I'll be going now. And of course, they just say, "Wait, you're not gonna watch our fight?" And Naruto's like, "Well, why should I watch people who are rude to me fighting?" And of course, Shikamaru and Choji apologize for Naruto. They just wanted to tease him a bit, but of course Naruto didn't really take it to heart. He was just making a slight joke, and Naruto has gotten better because of hanging out, well, not hanging out, or spending time with Jiraiya, but he really had to go at this point. He told them that he'll be going now. He's not feeling well, and he says that he really doesn't want to talk to Tsuki, since all the things that he's done. He doesn't believe that he deserves to talk to her anymore. And then he says goodbye, and he says this will be the final goodbye, and this candle candle startles both of them, and they have a bad feeling, but Naruto just says not to worry about him and to worry about their next fight. And Shikamaru is next, and basically Shikamaru just says, Naruto, I'll be seeing you after I win, right? And basically Naruto's like, well, we'll see. We'll just have to see if you win in the first place. And now Shikamaru just says, I'll be waiting for you. And Naruto just says, to shut up and go and fight. Of course, Tsuki was actually coming up, the stairs to actually go sit next to Choji, and Naruto. She sees Naruto walking towards Sakura, and Sakura who's kind of bummed out, and Kakashi was telling her that she did really well. Naruto came behind Sakura and just tapped her on the shoulder and just said, "Well, you might have lost, but you fought really well. I believe you can become a good Kunoichi. Anywho, I'll be seeing you guys. And Sasuke, you better win." And of course, as he says that, Naruto walks away, and Kakashi, kind of smiles, gives a nice smile, and he realizes that Naruto maybe is returning to his old self, but really he is, and he's just doing this because he just wants to do something good before he truly ends it all. But anyway, of course, now Suki tries to catch up to Naruto, but Naruto's already out of the stadium, and she tries to get near him, but Naruto, of course, is just too far ahead, and Tsuki is a bit tired, especially because she was in a genjutsu for a long while, but she finally caught up to him, and she asked Naruto, how if he saw her fight, and Naruto just lies and says, "Not really, but I heard that you won, but anywho, I'll be leaving." But anywho, now, of course, Tsuki was, kind of bummed out that Naruto would lie about not seeing her fight, and she was really looking forward to Naruto's feedback. And Naruto sees that Tsuki has a sad smile on her face, and then he just says that, "I'm sure you fought well, even if I didn't see it." And Tsuki does know that Naruto did see the fight. But anywho, of course, then Naruto and Tsuki just look at each other again, and Naruto then says goodbye, and Tsuki asks where he's going, and basically Naruto's like, "Well, I actually don't know. What's after death? If you can explain that, then I can tell you." And of course, Tsuki was completely startled at this, and she's like, "Wait, what?" And Naruto then disappears in a blink of an eye, and just leaves traces of blue feathers. And the only reason I'm doing this is because Naruto has developed this new thing where he can actually substitute himself with, well, of course it's basically like the crow substitution from Itachi, but just with blue feathers. And Naruto chose this on purpose because blue, to show that he's saddened by he was sad his whole life. Of course he had friends and everything, but most of his life has been something that would have been a nightmare for anyone else, and Naruto had to endure, and in the end he endured for endured for 12 years, but at this point it was too late. He's been through too much, and he couldn't handle it anymore, and it is sad. But anywho, something bad. Well, of course, Saki got a real bad intuition from this, and she wanted to pursue Naruto, but then Naruto was already gone, and she didn't know which way he went, and she wanted to go and win the Chunin exam. And of course Naruto then Tsuki went back, and Choji asked what he said, and basically Tsuki then asked Choji, what's what, what? And Choji's like, yes. And then Choji kind of gets worried, and just calls out to Tsuki, and Tsuki's like, "Oh, sorry." And basically he asks again what Naruto said, and basically Tsuki then says, "Well, he asked." And basically Choji's like, "Just get to the point." And and then she's like, he asked, "What, where do you go after death?" And Choji started laughing and says that, "You're joking, right?" You're joking. Anyway, of course now Tsuki sheds a little tear, and then Choji just tells her that it's fine, she doesn't have to worry about Naruto. And then now of course Shikamaru won his fight and comes back, and then it's Choji against Choji against sorry, something I completely messed up on. It was that Sakura was meant to fight Choji, but since I messed up, I'm an idiot, and so you can go hate on me on the comments. But I'll say that Choji has to fight, Neji, and that was actually my first plan. But of course, in the end, I wanted to, allow Saki to get a bit of revenge, but in the end, I messed up. But anyway, of course, Neji was gonna fight Choji, and that fight went real bad. Choji got destroyed, and yes, of course, Tsuki got even more pissed, and in the end, now, anywho, after this, Sasuke's fight actually begins, and here Sasuke annihilates Gaara, but of course Gaara goes into a rampage, and in the end, goes ham on the village, and everyone gets put under Genjutsu, and the attack begins. Of course, Naruto, who was actually next to a river, of course, well, at first he was actually on the fourth Hokage's stone face, and then he actually went to a river where he wanted to end it all, just drown. But anyway, then he heard a massive explosion, and he looked behind him and he saw black smoke, and so he jumped back up to the fourth Hokage's stone face statue, and basically he saw that all the commotion, and he saw all those ninjas coming outside the village over the walls and everything, and Naruto realized that there's something wrong, and so the first thing that comes to his mind is the stadium, and so he actually goes towards the stadium by body flickering, and sees that most of the people are actually in a Genjutsu. And as he was actually coming here, he saw Sasuke actually following three shinobi, and at first he was confused, but he had to check what was happening, and so Naruto allowed Sasuke to go on his own because he trusted him now, because he could see that Sasuke got a lot stronger during his time training with Kakashi. And so now, after this, Naruto actually finally asked Kakashi what happened, and Kakashi tells him everything, and this is an attack, and Naruto sees that the Hokage was actually getting trapped into in a barrier, and basically Naruto tries to get in the barrier, but it was too late. Even with his body flicker, he came just a second too late, and Naruto was pretty pissed off, and so then the Hokage just said, Naruto, go protect the village. After all, I trust you. And basically, Naruto just looks at the Hokage and says, this will be my last mission, right? And the Hokage says, well, I guess it's you and I both. And basically, Naruto then just says, oh, it is what it is. Anywho, okay, I'll protect the village for you while you fight this snake. And just saying, he has a few techniques up his sleeve. Yeah, even I don't know. I've already fought him. And of course, then he disappears. And Tsuki, Sakura, Shikamaru, Choji, even Choji is immune to Genjutsu, all came together, and they actually followed the Sasuke, and so they already went right while Naruto was talking, and Tsuki saw Naruto in here, and she was kind of relieved that Naruto's not dead yet. But anywho, of course, Naruto then actually body flickers behind them, and he actually knocks out the shinobi that Shikamaru was about to take out, and then they're confused on what was happening, where did they go, and then out of nowhere Naruto came out, and he said that they should just go back, they shouldn't do this mission, he'll handle it. And then Naruto disappears from their view, and he arrives to the battlefield. Of course, he skips through Kankuro and Temari, which were taken, which they will be taken care of by both Choji and Shikamaru and Sakura, while Saki arrives here. But anywho, of course, now Naruto arrived to the battlefield and saw Sasuke getting annihilated, even in Curse Mark 1, and basically Naruto's like that mark again. And now he realizes that it must be a technique or a seal that activates whenever Sasuke is angry, thing, and basically was given by that Orochimaru guy. Of course, he knows who Orochimaru is by now, but anywho, of course, now Naruto actually saves Sasuke, and then he sees Sasuke actually faints, and basically Naruto tells Saki to take Sasuke. And just saying, when he actually saved Sasuke was about to get sliced in half by Gaara's half claw hand, and basically Naruto came in the way, and he got cut on the back of his shirt, and of course Naruto, who is now bleeding, and quite a bit to be honest, and it's not easy for Naruto. But anyway, of course, now Naruto tells Saki to take Sasuke and go. this was a hard decision for Saki, and basically, Tsuki. I keep saying Saki for some reason. This was a hard decision for Tsuki, but Naruto just says, "Listen, Tsuki, we don't have much time. I have to take care of him right now. You can't take him on. He's a Jinchuriki. If you haven't noticed yet, he has the One Tails inside of him. Now go. Here, catch Sasuke." And of course he throws him, not her, and Tsuki catches Sasuke, and with tears in her eyes, she shouts at Naruto saying that he better come back, and Naruto then just says, "Just go." And of course now Naruto looks at Gaara, of course still in pain, realizes that he's losing blood fast, and at this point Naruto is actually going to die, and Naruto's happy about it. Naruto just smiles and says, "How about we have a fight to the death, my brother?" And of course, as he says that, Naruto has heard of, while he was actually, still on the Hokage's stone face, and he came out. He actually went around asking people around, people from the sand who actually came and asked about Gaara, and some people who were sympathetic towards Gaara actually told Naruto, and they never wanted to go near Gaara, even though they're scared. They felt sad for him, but of course Naruto found this out, and basically he called him a brother because Naruto and Gaara went through the same exact pain. But of course Naruto couldn't handle it anymore, and basically now Naruto and Gaara actually fight. Gaara still goes into his One Tails form, but Naruto, having so much respect for Gaara for being like him, that he doesn't even summon Gamabunta, and just says that he'll take him on his own. Naruto in the end, he was able to do a few body flickers around Gaara, and then throw a kunai at Gaara, which then landed on behind Gaara, where how Gaara was on the top of the head, that bit of Shikaku. Naruto actually teleported behind it, and Naruto actually used a flying Raijin. I did tell you guys that Naruto was actually training in this, and he can't really do it much since if whenever he does it, he runs out of chakra real fast. But anyway, Naruto is still not used to this, and he's already near enough out of chakra, but Naruto has enough to actually Rasengan Gaara on the back of the on his back, and basically Naruto and Gaara just Naruto still gives him a Taka no Jutsu, saying that they can still be friends on the ground. And of course Naruto's bleeding out. Gaara's actually alright, but anyway, of course Naruto then just stands up and takes Gaara back to the stadium. At this point Naruto saw that the Hokage was on the ground after Orochimaru's hands were taken away, and Naruto still bleeding, losing vision at this point, and he lost too much blood, and he needs a transplant fast. But of course Naruto doesn't want it, and just saying of course now Naruto just leaves Gaara and says, "My friend, I guess I'll be your only friend, but I'll have to go now." And of course he's breathing heavily, and Tsuki, Sakura, Shikamaru, Choji, even Sasuke, who is barely awake, he's on the ground, still resting. Shino, Hinata, and Neji, everyone, all of them woke up, and the whole Rukinan, even they were all looking at Naruto, while Naruto, and even Temari and Kankuro were looking at Naruto while Naruto was holding Gaara, with his Gaara's arm around Naruto's neck, and basically was carrying him. And yeah, of course Naruto then says, "Oh well, I can leave him here. I'll be going now." And of course Gaara was drenched in Naruto's blood, since his blood was spewing everywhere. Naruto then just says, "Well, I did say this was my last mission," and coughs out blood. And of course Kakashi sees this, and he actually goes towards Naruto, and basically Naruto says, don't get closer. One more step, and I swear I'll end you with me." And of course I forgot his name again. Kakashi just tells Naruto to calm down. He needs a transplant ASAP, and Naruto then just says, "It's fine, it's fine, it's fine." And of course he keeps saying it's fine, and basically then just looks at Shikamaru and just says, "Oh, I just want to say one more thing. You guys were truly my friends." And of course, as he says that, he just looks at Tsuki one more time, and just smiles and just falls to the ground. Naruto is on the brink of death, literally on the brink of death, and then Naruto actually woke up in his mind, and he found the Nine Tails. Of course, Naruto then says, "So you must be the Nine Tails. It's been a while. I haven't seen you." And of course, Naruto means that he's never seen him. Of course, he says it's been a while, but Naruto is not thinking straight right now. He's dying, and basically the Nine Tails like, maybe you should have took that transplant. You wouldn't be speaking half gibberish by now. You don't even know your English. And of course, Naruto's like, oh well, I am dying. Is there really a reason for me to even think about English now? And of course, now the Nine Tails just says that, maybe I should have healed you when I had the chance to, but your anger wasn't strong enough. For some reason, you're one who doesn't get angry, which pisses me off. I could have been out if only your anger, the hatred you're holding in, just go out once. You idiot. I could have saved you, but now you're on the brink of death. And now I'll be affected too. I'll have to regenerate, and that'll take decades. Since I am the strongest tail beast, it will take me years to recover all my chakra. You idiot, you're an absolute imbecile. And of course Naruto then just starts laughing and says, so you're the Nine Tails. I can feel the hatred from you, the bloodlust, everything. But I'm immune to it by now, since mine was just as big as yours. And of course the Nine Tails just starts laughing and says, do you really think you hate humans just as much as me? If you did, you would have took part in the slaughtering today, and you would have made this village into a bloodbath. And of course, as he says that, Naruto then just tells him to shut up, and basically, he actually just lowers his hand, and basically the Nine Tails, he was trying to take over Naruto's last second and try to, stop the bleeding and everything, and just take over his body and kill everyone. Naruto stopped him by actually realizing what was happening. Naruto just, threw a deity gate on, the Kurama's head, and that just, shot him up. And basically Naruto then says, listen, let me die in peace. I haven't had this much silence in years now. Everyone's shouting at me. All those voices in my head every time, even when I'm alone, even when I'm trying to sleep, I never forget them. All those hateful words, all the people who hated me, all of them, they all come back to me last second, right when I wanted to sleep, when I wanted to train, when I wanted to be alone, when I wanted to kill myself. Every time. And of course, as he says that, his hatred actually starts coming out, and the Nine Tails just starts laughing again, saying that, look at you, you're finally embracing your true side. And basically Naruto then just says, no, he's not. He's just showing the Nine Tails how much hate he has for humans, and it's just as much as him. And basically then Naruto then tells him to shut up now, and Naruto just sits down in front of the Nine Tails, looking at him in an apathetic way. But of course, with still a smile in his face, but the smile was fake. Behind that smile was behind that, smiling face was literally tears, Naruto crying. Of course, Naruto hasn't, been in such peace in years, and this is the first time in a while, and of course, it's just emotional for him to not hear those voices anymore. And after this, Naruto finally, closed his eyes, and just laid down, in the in front of the cage, and then the Nine Tails said, "Damn brat." And of course, now Naruto just went into deep sleep. Of course, it's been a week, and the same thing happened to Kakashi, and in the end, Jiraiya had to go on his own to actually find Tsunade. And in the end, he was actually able to bring back Tsunade. And Tsunade, I'm just saying, Sasuke still tried to fight Itachi, but in the end Itachi just said that, that kid that saved the village. Of course, Naruto's word actually, the word of Naruto saving everyone in the village, from the One Tails has gone around quite fast. Word goes around fast, especially because the world, the village isn't too big. And anywho, of course, he went around to different villages and everything. But anywho, now, of course, Sasuke knows who that kid was. It was Naruto, and Naruto's still in a coma right now. But anywho, in a comatose state. But in the end, Might Guy still arrived to save Sasuke, and scared them away again. And yeah, anywho, of course, now Naruto, it's been a week, and Tsunade was able to heal both, uh, well, not Shikamaru, Kakashi, and Sasuke, and in the end, the cut in Naruto's the slash on Naruto's back was pretty deep and something that couldn't be closed for some reason, and that no, I'm not gonna say for some reason, that's kind of vague, but of course it couldn't be closed because it was so deep, and the actual flesh and bone was cut to an extent where with chakra, with tail beast chakra, which actually led to Naruto's flesh being rotten, and there was only one person who could heal this, and Jiraiya pleaded to Tsunade to heal his godson. He's not here for well, of course he's here for on the behalf of the village, but he's here for another reason. On the he's here as a father, as a godfather, and he wants Tsunade to help his son Benny. Of course, Tsunade was able to heal Naruto's back, and Naruto now rested. He rested calmly for the next few hours, and Tsuki, who felt responsible. Tsuki, of course, was there with Naruto. She could have helped Naruto for all she knew. She would have could have been the one to actually help out Naruto. Of course, her having the Sharingan and everything, she could predict the opponent's moves. But of course, she allowed Naruto to fight on his own, which led to all of this. And Tsuki wasn't held responsible, but she felt responsible for Naruto's comatose state. Anywho, of course, she came to visit Naruto every day, night. Ooh, oh, my AirPod, of course. Sorry about that. But anywho, now, of course, a few days passed, 2 days, and the inauguration of the Hokage was done and everything, and Naruto in his still in his comatose state. Sasuke, of course, at this point, meeting the Sound Four, and the Sound Four actually told him that in a week he should meet them and leave. And it's been 5 days, and Sasuke was gonna leave the next day, and of course I said a week, but 6 days, but whatever. Anywho, of course now, Tsunade was told about Naruto's story, and he hurt him because from what she could tell, Naruto was literally like her little brother Naoki, and her lover, and and I think it was Dan. Let me check. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I have a PhD in Naruto. Man, remembered that name from heart, and that man don't even know the lover of Tsunade. Man just said it randomly, but that's PhD level. Anywho, of course, after finding out about Naruto, Tsunade was really really saddened by the story, especially because Naruto literally did nothing wrong in his life. He was just a normal kid, and all the villagers just hated him for being the Jinchuriki of the Ninetales, which he had no real say in. But of course, it is what it is. The cycle of hatred, which both Jiraiya, Tsunade are familiar with, since they've seen it with their own eyes. They've seen the cycle of hatred take away one of their closest friends, Orochimaru. Of course, now being one of the most wanted ninjas in this whole entire planet, one of the most dangerous ninjas, which if you see, you shouldn't really fight, and especially because he is part of the legendary Sanin with both Tsunade and Jiraiya. But anywho, of course, Tsuki being in the hospital, still waiting for Naruto to wake up, and just saying Sasuke will be leaving within a day. But anyways, now Sasuke now knows that Naruto is way stronger than him, and he needs to find a way to become stronger. Of course, Sakura already beginning her training with Tsunade, since she saw from the day she saw Tsunade healing Naruto. She realized that Tsunade is someone that she wants to be like. Naruto saved her beloved Sasuke, and he's the one who truly always motivated her, even though it was like literally indirectly. Naruto really had the intentions of motivating Sakura to become the best ninja she can, even though when he was depressed, he still encouraged Sakura to be even stronger. Indirectly, no one really noticed except for Sakura, since Sakura was the one to actually, be encouraged. Still, Sakura was really impressed by Tsunade, which, gave her new hope of, her finally becoming something in this world. But of course, while this was all happening, Shikamaru and Choji, of course, were uh, had just finished visiting Naruto, and they told Tsuki to actually go home by now. It's getting late. She needs to go to sleep. She hasn't been home in like 3 days. She's always been here. But of course, now Tsuki, who finally couldn't take it anymore, just gave up and let everything out. She started saying how much she loved Naruto from the very beginning, and how whenever Naruto always simped over basically Hinata, she was always hurt, but she never really showed it because she didn't want Naruto to get worried about her, and she wanted the best for Naruto. But of course now that Naruto has been betrayed, she can say all of this, without being embarrassed of being getting in Naruto's way of trying to get Hinata. But anywho, of course, Tsuki then actually started crying, saying that maybe she told him earlier, maybe this would have not happened, and he could have been with her, and he would have been happier than now, and their friendship would not have been half broken by now. Anywho, of course, Naruto slightly moved at this moment, and uh, Tsuki was completely baffled, and she's like, Naruto, are you awake? And of course, Naruto then you moved a bit more, and then Tsuki actually held Naruto's hand, and the warmth from Tsuki's hand went towards Naruto, who was still in his deep slumber in his own mind. And Naruto then felt this warmth, and he's like, is this hell, heaven? I don't care which one I deserve. Tell me, where am I? And then, the Naruto speaks up and says, you're not dead, kid. You survived. Your body was able to survive long enough for Tsunade, one of the legendary Sanin, to come and heal you. And now look at you, thinking you're dead. What a retard. Do you really think you'd die? What an imbecile. Do you really think the village would allow you to die since you have me? Do you really think that will happen? And basically Naruto then tells the Naruto to shut the fuck up already. And Naruto's being rude now, and he's like, nah, bro, I've had enough. Shut up. You're taking the piss. I've had enough. I'm not having this. I'm not having this, G. I ain't having this. Of course, now the Naruto was taken aback because Naruto has never been this rude to him. But anyway, of course, now Naruto literally has snapped, and he's like, bro, you didn't let me sleep, you didn't let me rest. What else do you want? Now you're telling me that I'm not in heaven, not in hell, and I'm still alive? Are you dumb, fam? Are you stupid, fam? Man died. Man was injured. Man bled out. Like, how dumb can you get? And of course, I haven't explained what really happened to Naruto after he fainted. What happened is that Tsuki used her remaining bits, particles of chakra to actually rush Naruto to the hospital. And in the end, Naruto was put in the emergency room, and the operation went well. All the sand particles were taken out of Naruto, and in the end Naruto survived. But of course, this was Naruto was unaware of this, while the Naruto's who was aware of all of the everything that happened. He's a damn brat survived. Interesting. Maybe there are some people who want him to survive, or maybe they just want to cause more pain to this brat. Does it really deserve it? And of course, the Naruto was kind of English complementate. 1 second. Contemplating on whether Naruto deserved this or not. But of course, he didn't really care after finding out that he's not smart like me. Of course, I'm dumb, by the way. I'm probably gonna become homeless after YouTube's finished. Well, I'm joking. Let's not think about the bad side. Let's think about the bright side. I'll die early. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, after waking up, literally sees Tsuki holding Naruto's hand while she was sleeping, and he saw a few tears in her eyes, and Naruto wipes them off, and literally says, "Oh, guess you saved me again. All the times, every time, it's always you. I guess you've been always by my side, in my ups, in my downs, in my best moments, in my worst moments, and in that one moment where all of this began, the moment where I've been betrayed by the person I love the most, but I've been blinded by her, and I've never noticed the person that truly loved me." And of course, Naruto is being truthful now. Naruto has always known that, Tsuki liked him, but in reality, Naruto, of course, liked, Hinata. But, over time, he actually got rid of that, crush, that dumb crush, because he realized that it was stupid. But of course, he just had to fake it because, he believed that he's not worthy enough to, like, be with Saki. I mean, Tsuki. I'm fucking retarded, fam. And he, of course, Naruto believed that he wasn't worthy enough, and he thought that, someone like Shikamaru is someone that could protect her. Someone like Naruto, of course, he wants to become Hokage and everything. He wants to become the strongest shinobi that ever lived. But, Naruto, who's not even, considered as a human being by the villagers, he doesn't believe that when he's older, he'll be able to protect, Tsuki. And even if he put his life up for her, in the end, he'd fail because he knows that he's even strong. He's weaker than Tsuki. But of course, he didn't really know that he'll become this strong over time. But of course, the betrayal, which Naruto actually, even though he didn't like, Hinata that way anymore, of course, he's still hurt that, Hinata would lie to him this whole time just to get a few, laughs out of hurting Naruto's feelings, and hurting Naruto to an extent where he's hospitalized. And of course, that really snapped Naruto, and that was his breaking point. He couldn't take any more. But of course, he still believes he's unworthy of Tsuki even more now, because of all the pain he's caused her, and he believes that he doesn't deserve all of this. And so he stands up and just writes a letter to Tsuki before he actually walks off. And and in the end, Naruto actually hears Sakura saying, "Sasuke, no, please." And of course, Naruto is worried now because he heard Sakura saying, "No, please don't," and basically he's confused. And of course, Naruto leaves a letter saying, "Tsuki, I've known your true feelings from the very beginning. I just never thought that I was worthy, and now I have proof that I really am not. I've caused you way too much pain, and even though you may still like me, I want you to stop, because I don't believe I deserve this, and I'm sorry." And of course, Tsuki loves Naruto because of Naruto always being there for her. Even when Shisui died, he was always there, and that was when Naruto had a crush on Hinata and everything. And Naruto was still there for his best friend. Anywho, of course, once Naruto got heartbroken, his best friend Tsuki always was there for Naruto, and they were always there for each other. Of course, then Naruto in the end snapped, and he couldn't handle it anymore. But of course, there was always that one person who was with Naruto, and he was there for Naruto when he needed it the most. Of course, now Naruto goes heads off to where Sakura was, and wakes up Sakura, and Sakura is surprised that Naruto's awake. But then Sakura starts crying to Naruto, saying that Sasuke left the village, and Naruto's like, "Sakura, I want you to go tell Tsunade." And basically Naruto actually knows this because he knows about all the three legendary Sanin, and the only one that can actually heal someone like something like what happened to Naruto. Naruto does know that his back was completely annihilated, is Tsunade, and he doesn't believe anyone else could have done that. But anyway, now of course he doesn't have a grudge against Gaara for doing this to him, and in fact he was grateful for Gaara to who actually put him to the nearest death situation that he actually wanted to happen. Wanted, of course, he wanted to die. Remember, he was still suicidal, and plus now Naruto lost his other friend. Of course, you know, Sasuke left the village to go with Orochimaru, and Naruto went towards Sasuke to actually stop him. And of course, Sasuke already had the pill of death, and Sakura tells Naruto not to go, that they'll make a team to actually go get Sasuke. He should rest. And Naruto then just says, Sakura, you already know what happened to me. You've seen how my life was. We were teammates for a while, but this may be a goodbye. After this mission, I did say that the last mission was gonna be my last one, but I cannot let a friend go like this. I've caused too many friends pain and suffering. I cannot let another friend go through. So I promise you, Sakura, I'll bring back Sasuke. Don't worry, I'll do it for you, and then I'll truly be done. If Sasuke is back, the team can still go on, even without me. After all, I was useless anyway. And Naruto then leaves, and Sakura says, no, Naruto, please. And basically she pleads Naruto not to do it, because she knows that he's not weak, but he's not in the condition of doing a mission like this right now, especially because Soundful were the ones to create the barrier. She knew that, and she's seen them. And so Naruto now goes up against the Soundful. And Naruto, even though he's been resting for so long, he's not fully healed. Tsunade's healing is not as good as the cloak that Naruto had. Like, literally, that stops bleeding and everything. But anyway, now, and even regrows flesh like that. We've seen that in Naruto part 1. At the end, Naruto goes stabbed through the shoulder, and that just grew back. Like, shoulder has bones, shoulder has freaking flesh, fucking muscle, cells, and all of them regrew thanks to the cloak. But anywho, now that we have confirmation, well, of course we always have confirmation, of course, now that we have you guys understand that this is possible. Of course, Naruto is not fully healed, even though he's been in bed for like 2 weeks. Anywho, of course, now the Nine Tails started laughing inside Naruto's mind and saying that, do you really think you can bring back Sasuke? How about we make a bet? If you can't bring back Sasuke, you won't return to the village. After all, you did promise that girl that you will bring him back. So, what do you say, Naruto? And Naruto then says, you know what? That's one thing I agree with you. If I can't bring Sasuke back, if I fail this mission, I will not return to the village. I will leave, and I will bring him back. That will be my final mission. And this is the final mission I do for the Leaf, as a shinobi, as a Leaf shinobi, and as a shinobi itself. And of course, Naruto means that he won't be a shinobi after this. This is literally his last mission, because he doesn't want to be a shinobi anymore. It's been too long. He's been gone. He's caused too many people pain. He's always been in the way. Literally, he's never been in the right. He's always been in the way, in his opinion. But of course, it's not true. Naruto has helped Sasuke get out of a situation in the land of waves. So Kakashi, everyone knows that. But anywho, of course, Naruto thinks the opposite. But anywho, now after this, Naruto actually, first of all, versed Jirobo. Of course, Naruto didn't have any mercy against Jirobo, and so he went all out. But Jirobo was actually able to get a few good blows into Naruto, especially when Naruto, let down his guard. Naruto wasn't expecting Jirobo to be so strong in Curse Mark 2 state, because he's never seen it before. But anyway, of course, Naruto was proven wrong, and he realized that he kind of effed up. And anywho, of course, after all of this, Naruto decided to go all out, and so he used the Rasengan, and he added a wind release to it. Not wind release, sorry, lightning release to it, because he's used to lightning release. And anywho, Naruto actually threw the Rasengan, because if he got close to Jirobo, either he needed a distraction, or he would have got punched again to death maybe. But anywho, of course, Jirobo was able to dodge it at first. Well, at first he saw it coming, so he thought that he could dodge it, but in the end it disappeared, and Naruto was baffled as well. But he did remember that he added a lightning release to it to actually amplify the strength of it, and to paralyze Jirobe in case he actually the lightning release actually would work. But of course now uh now that this has all happened, Naruto and Jirobe was dead, because Jirobe wasn't expecting such a shock from this lightning release. And Naruto's lightning release ain't no joke. But of course now we skip to the village. Of course, Naruto being done with Jirobe, of course having a few ribs broken already, and Naruto says, oh well, if I die in this mission but I'm able to complete it, it's all fine, even if I die. And of course now Naruto, being done with Jirobe, actually heads towards Tayuya. And Tayuya doesn't really do any damage to Naruto. Naruto is able to take her out easily. And then it's um, Kidomaru. And Kidomaru is the one that does the most damage to Naruto out of the three that already fought. And he was able to get three strong blows on Naruto with his arrows, which all of them hit Naruto in places where Naruto was still healing: his back, his chest, and his stomach. Of course, all of them being part of the bit where Naruto was injured by Gaara, but in the end Naruto was able to persevere and be able to beat Kidomaru, because Naruto was just too fast, realizing that he's been underestimating the sound for a bit too much. Now Naruto has no mercy and annihilates. Of course, Naruto's already losing blood again, and Naruto's getting lightheaded because he just got out of the hospital because of losing so much blood, and having an infection on his back because of all the sand and the the blood and everything. But anyway, now, not and everything, but you know what I mean. Now Naruto, of course, after doing this, he actually heads off to find Sasuke, since there is only one last sound for and in the end, Sakon and Ukon, who are basically two people, of course fight Naruto. And Sasuke has already woken up. It's been a few hours since Naruto left the village. And yeah, now of course Naruto, who was ready for anything, was able to, of course, the tag team Sakon and Ukon were pretty confusing for Naruto, but in the end, Naruto was able to beat them easily. Of course, Naruto being Naruto, OP as hell, because it's one of the King of Weebs videos. Of course, I made Naruto pretty freaking OP in my videos, but anyway, of course, now Naruto, who has been finished with them, he actually heads off to find Sasuke, and he's able to catch up until they come across a field. And Naruto then tells Sasuke to just stop. He's not gonna go anywhere. Naruto's going to catch him eventually. Sasuke is slower than him, and he still has enough strength to fight Sasuke. And Sasuke just says, "I have achieved new power, Naruto. Power you can never achieve. Something that you can only dream about. So do not mess with me, or I'll actually kill you." And Naruto then just says, "How about you just show me then? Fight me, Sasuke. If you're so strong now, you should be able to beat me now, shouldn't you?" And of course Sasuke then says, "Alright then, let's begin." And of course, as he says that, Kimimaro appears, and then he tells Sasuke to go. Lord Orochimaru is waiting. I'll take care of this one. And of course Sasuke then says, "Finally, I can get rid of you." And of course, as he says that, he actually goes off on his own. And now of course Sasuke, Naruto has to fight Kimimaro. And here Naruto decides to go all out and uses everything that he has. And in the end, he was actually able to do enough damage to Kimimaro. But Kimimaro, still being strong as hell, was able to withstand all of this. And Naruto realized that he may need to ask the Ninetales for some power. And the Ninetales then says, "Finally, you made the right choice." And of course Naruto then says, "I'll regret this for the rest of my life, but I don't have any choice." And of course, as he says that, then the Ninetales actually allows Naruto to use his chakra, which then of course doesn't replenish Naruto's chakra, but he replenishes Naruto's, well, not replenishes, he heals Naruto, and Naruto doesn't have any more blood loss than any now. Naruto was able to finish off Kimimaru with a Vermilion Vanishing Rasengan, and now that Kimimaru is dead, Naruto heads off to find Sasuke, and in the end catches up to Sasuke, actually being able to catch Sasuke off guard, and in the end Sasuke was pretty pissed off, and so he goes into his Curse Mark 2, which then Naruto doesn't really have much chakra left, but he actually fights, Sasuke in Curse Mark 2, but in the end, Sasuke was still able to beat Naruto. But of course, since Naruto is, like hours ahead of the Sasuke retrieval team, which is Tsuki, Shikamaru, Choji, not Kiba, Shino, and in the end they had to put Neji in it. Of course, Neji would get in the way, but Shino, Tsuki, Shikamaru and Choji all were okay with Naruto. Three of them being Naruto's friends, and the Shino not really minding Naruto. Of course, now Naruto, of course, he wakes up and realizes he's failed, and the Naruto says, "I guess you lost a bet, kid. So, are you going to keep your promise?" And basically, as he says that, Naruto says, "Shut the fuck up. I know, I failed. I'm just going to go now. There's no need of me returning. I'll return with Sasuke, and then I'll leave the village forever. I'm not going to stay as a Leaf Village. I guess a Leaf Shinobi, not a Leaf Village. Of course, I'll be considered as a Rogue Shinobi, but that doesn't matter to me at this point." Anywho, of course, Naruto, understanding, the true feelings of, Tsuki and now, and, of course, confessing to Tsuki. Tsuki was, ready to find Naruto with Sasuke, but of course, then, they arrive at the Valley of the End, and, all she sees is a kunai on the, Hashirama, statue, and she was confused, but this kunai actually had a scroll on it, literally a sealed scroll, and basically only Tsuki was actually able to open the scroll, and in the end anywho, of course, Tsuki sees this little note saying that Naruto will not be returning until he, brings back Sasuke. He promised Sakura, and this will be his last mission as a shinobi, and after this he's done forever, and he's finished with all of these things, and he doesn't want to be a shinobi anymore. He doesn't like being a shinobi. He realized that it's not for him, and after this he just wants to become a normal villager that he doesn't care about what shinobi do. He just wants to be a normal person. Anywho, of course, now Naruto uh, goes off on his own, and realizing that he can add chakra releases to his Rasengan, he realizes that there is more to the Rasengan that what at first there was. But anywho, of course, Tsuki returns all depressed from this mission, and in the end everyone finds out about Naruto's leave. But anyway, of course, now Tsuki, who actually was the most heartbroken one, actually was motivated even more, even though she was half depressed. She was actually depressed, literally depressed, but she was motivated to become even stronger, and this is what broke her heart, and broke her to actually unlock the Mangekyo, literally. And yes, now of course, Naruto, who has been training for 2 years, it was on a rainy day. Yes, Naruto, it was on a rainy day, and Naruto was just sitting on a rock underneath, in front of a waterfall, and of course Kurama, Naruto was talking to the Nine Tails. Of course, the Nine Tails still being, of course, he doesn't hate Naruto anymore. Naruto doesn't hate the Nine Tails anymore. After they got to know each other, they kinda became friends, but they still hate each other. They're not like Naruto and the Nine Tails at the end of Shippuden, or at the beginning of when Naruto first went into KCM2. But anywho, now of course they're still enemies, but they respect each other because they both have strengths, and they both have some weaknesses. But here is where a bit of plot armor comes in. Naruto's key was given to Naruto. It's something that Naruto unlocks when he, his mind is mature enough, and it was never given to, Jiraiya. And basically, not only his mind, but his body needs to be strong enough. When he's strong enough, basically the key, you know, gets given to Naruto by, his mind, and it's basically Minato appearing at that moment because, Minato believes Naruto strong enough, and that's basically what Minato put in Naruto. It's like a little ticking bomb, but of course it's more like a ticking surprise. But anywho, of course Naruto has already unlocked this key, but he hasn't opened the gates to the Nine Tails because he doesn't believe he's ready yet. Of course, Naruto meeting Minato and Minato telling Naruto the whole truth, and in the end, he doesn't meet Kushina yet, but of course Minato is someone that he already met, and he respects Minato. And Minato has seen everything that happened to Naruto, and of course Minato asks Naruto to return to the village, but Naruto then says that he'll return once he actually finishes his last mission as a shinobi, and then he'll just become a normal villager, someone who just wants to live his life in peace with someone that he finds and he truly loves, and she truly loves him back then. He, of course, for now, Naruto, actually it's been 2 years and a half, and Tsuki has actually been with Jiraiya training because Jiraiya and Tsuki actually want to bring back Naruto, and Jiraiya and Tsuki both master Sage Mode. I'm joking, only Jiraiya does, but Tsuki actually has a thing in perfect Sage Mode, which is with Ma and Pa. But anywho, now of course Naruto actually is walking around. It's a few weeks before. I know it's been 2 years and a half, but it's a 3 weeks before then. Naruto originally going back to the Leaf Village with Jiraiya. But anywho, Tsuki already returned here because she's stronger as hell. But Naruto's stronger because of all the techniques Naruto has learned over this time. And Naruto has met Itachi. Something that they mentioned, Naruto has known Itachi when he was younger too, with the Tsuki. But of course, after Itachi killed the whole entire clan, Naruto hasn't seen him. But during his journeys, during his adventures for the last few weeks, since he's finished training, he's strong enough, and as soon as he sees he finds an opportunity to find Sasuke, he will take it and bring back Sasuke. But as for now, Naruto will remain like this, and Naruto actually has learned about the Sage Mode from Gamabunta, and Gamabunta, the Naruto and Gamabunta actually made a deal where as long as Gamabunta doesn't tell Jiraiya anything, Naruto will give any information to Gamabunta to help Jiraiya, and as long as Gamabunta just says that his own private friend told him. But of course now Naruto is helping out Jiraiya with his spy network secretly by actually making Gamabunta tell everything to Jiraiya. Anywho, now of course Gamabunta did ask Naruto if he wanted to train in Sage Mode, and Naruto then says, well, you see, I do, but I've heard you did tell me that Jiraiya was there recently, so I don't really want to do it now. But of course, then Gamabunta said that he left by now, and so Naruto actually decides to go with Gamabunta and train in Mount Myoboku and become friends with the Toads. Of course, the Toads really liked Naruto, and in the end, they said goodbye to Naruto, and Naruto thanked them for everything. Even after mastering Siege within 2 weeks, and Naruto has another week, which he actually decides to go to Sand Village and visit Gaara for the first time in nearly 3 years, and Gaara's happy to see Naruto, and he asks Naruto where his headband is, and basically Naruto then says that he doesn't have it anymore, he doesn't need it, he's not a Leaf Shinobi anymore, and he's he's on his last mission as a shinobi, and after this he's going to be done forever, and he can take it easy and never do this again. And of course then Naruto actually leaves a week later, and by now it's a day before Gaara gets attacked, and Naruto was taking it slow, and he still came across these two people, these two suspicious people with black robes with red clouds on there. Naruto does know about the Akatsuki, but he doesn't pay too much attention to it because he doesn't know their true intentions about wanting to go for the Jinchuriki, because he's never met the Akatsuki, and Jiraiya's not there to tell him about it. But anywho, now of course Naruto, who uh, Naruto, who's on his journey, and he's heading out, and he left Gaara. Of course, the next morning he actually hears about the Sand Village being attacked by the Akatsuki, and Naruto realizes what's happening, and so he body flickers into the Sand Village and asks where's Gaara, and basically they tell him everything, and basically Naruto realizes that they must be after all the Jinchuriki. Since they started with Gaara, he already adds 1+1, and basically he asks the Nine Tails if there is there is something that absorbing the tail beasts for would do, and basically Kurama tells him that there is this one mythical tail beast that should not be resurrected ever, and it's called the Ten Tails, and if he ever gets revived, it will be the end of this world. And so Naruto realized that he cannot allow him and Gaara to get captured, and any other tail Jinchuriki, but for all he cares is him and Gaara. But anyway, Naruto couldn't find the hideout for some reason, even going at top speeds, and even using his sensory abilities, for some reason he couldn't find it. It's been 3 days, and apparently he's heard from he's actually seen, not even heard, he's seen Kakashi, Tsuki, and well Tsuki, because Team 8 has disbanded, because Shino actually joined Team 7 on this, but Team 8 has actually disbanded because Hinata joined the Anbu. Yes, Hinata joined the Root, and just saying. Now Team 8 actually combined with Team 7 because Kuronai is pregnant. But anywho, now Naruto of course has seen Kakashi, Sakura, Shino, and Tsuki. Since Naruto and Sasuke are not there, it's a perfect replacement. But anywho, of course, now Naruto found the hideout, and he broke in and said, "Where's Gaara?" And of course, they are all sitting on Gaara's body, and basically Naruto said, "All right, that's enough. You've done it now." And of course, as he says that, Deidara and Sasori get ready to fight, and within the first day, Naruto actually returns to the Sand Village. The first day that the Leaf are there, and uh, well, of course, the Leaf Shinobi are actually about to leave on the day Naruto returns with Gaara's body, and Chio's about to join them too, and Naruto has tears in his eyes, wearing a mask, of course, wearing a half broken mask. Naruto had a mask on, when he broke in, because he doesn't want to he doesn't want to be recognized. Of course, he still got the information about from Sasori, but he killed both of them, and in the end, he couldn't save Gaara, and basically Naruto with a half broken mask, they couldn't really see Naruto's actual face, but they could see the whiskers, and Lady Chio or Granny Chio actually knew who this was. And basically, if Naruto's wearing a mask now, that means he doesn't want to be seen by these lot, and so she just says, "I understand, you know what, Naruto," something. And in the end, she tells them that she's about to give her own life, since she already has a foot in a grave, one foot in her grave. But anywho, now Chio tells Naruto that, well, in secret, that she doesn't really understand why he's hiding his identity, but she knows that he's a good person, and this generation will be the generation which will change the ways of the shinobi, and they will bring shinobi together, and they will stop the cycle of hatred. Of course, now Chio dies, and Gaara wakes up and has a moment of silence, and Naruto and Gaara shake hands, and Naruto says that he'll be leaving, and right before he leaves, he gets an embrace from the back, and it's actually Tsuki asking who this is. And basically Tsuki is like a little kid holding on to her dad right before the divorce happens. She's like, "Hey, where you going, fam? I thought you were my dad." And basically the father's like, "I'll be back, don't worry." And anyway, of course, Naruto just looks back and says, "I have to go." And of course, then he just body flickers away, and Tsuki already had her suspicions, and now that Naruto used body flicker so well, you know, had the whiskers, that just, you know, confirmed it. Anywho, now of course, during this time, Naruto actually was body flickering throughout, you know, then a few towns and here and there, and you know, in the end, actually came across, you know, Kakuzu and Hidan, who Naruto really wanted to destroy, because he did hear about the two and the three tails being captured by now. And just saying, one more thing is that, you know, Saki is actually training her in her Rasen Shuriken. Even though she knows stage mode, she doesn't know the Rasen Shuriken, and that's something that she wants to learn. Naruto already has it, but Saki had the same idea as Naruto. But anywho, now, of course, Naruto, who has, you know, been watching Kakuzu and, you know, Hidan, he actually sees that, you know, Team 10 comes across them, and, you know, he doesn't really want to get in the way. But as soon as, you know, Naruto sees that Hidan was about to, you know, go all out and use his technique, Naruto actually learned about Hidan by actually a bit of info breaking and people who had the information about Hidan, and so he came out of nowhere and Naruto decapitated Hidan, and then basically, you know, Naruto not even showing his face, you know, with the broken mask, you know, just just tells them to run, he'll take care of them, and you know, Team 10 are like, wait, what? Who are you? And basically Naruto then just says, you can call me the Broken Mask, but I'm not gonna give you my real name. And of course, Naruto is actually using his chakra to change his voice, just like Yamato did. But anywho, of course, just saying, Naruto, in the end, didn't go to, you know, the bridge where Sasuke, well, where he was meant to see Sasuke, because, you know, he wasn't bothered to. He was like, yeah, it's just Orochimaru CBA. I'll just find out after I destroy the car. Well, I do my own thing. And basically, Naruto just couldn't be asked going right now, and he wanted to, you know, see the world a bit more. And then, plus, he actually saw the two Akatsuki members right before he went on his 1 week journey again. But in the end, he decided to stay back and, you know, follow them for a while. And now look at that. Look who he found, and he's like, this is really a small world. And anywho, now, world, my pronunciation is amazingly sexy, so do not at me. But anywho, of course, world, girl, whirlpool, you know, April Fools, like, mad pronunciation. If you at me, that's treason. Anywho, now, of course, Naruto then says to Team 10 to run, or they're going to get in the way. And basically, you know, then, you know, what happens is that Shikamaru actually finds out how to beat Hidan if he's immortal, since they've seen that Hidan can take anything. And, you know, Naruto just kicks the head of Hidan away from, you know, Kakuzu, and Kakuzu tries to extend his arm, but Naruto just catches it and literally, you know, holds it so tight that, you know, Kakuzu just pulls back and, you know, lets out all these 5 hearts. And basically Naruto tells them to take the body too and just bury it somewhere. That's the only way they're going to win this fight. And basically, so they actually go and do it themselves in the forest, while, you know, Broken Mask, which is Naruto, was gonna fight the 5 hearts of, you know, Hidan. Oh, I mean Kakuzu, sorry, I keep getting confused between the two. But anyway, now, of course, Naruto and Kakuzu, you know, talk for a while, and Naruto asks him a question. And, you know, his question is why, you know, he joined the Akatsuki, and Kakuzu said that is the easiest way of him getting money. And Naruto then says, oh well, oh shit, I got so fucking shook. Man was listening to music with his AirPods, and then they ran out of charge, so I put them in the box, or the charging thing, and he just started playing out loud. I got so shook. That happened before. I thought it was just a glitch or something, but Jesus, I guess it just happens. Anywho, of course, now Naruto then just says that he's dead, and basically all 4 of his heart just explode next to him. And basically Naruto was so fast that Kakuzu didn't even notice. And basically he was like, wait, what the and basically Naruto is using a technique that he created on his own. I'm joking. He only used the, you know, flying Raijin by actually throwing the kunai so fast with the body flicker, and Kakuzu didn't even notice that Naruto did that. And basically then he teleported 4 clones to them, and basically they all used a Rasengan, or, you know, one of them used a Rasengan I think Master Rasengan. All of them use a Master Rasengan. That's why the explosion was blue. But anyway, Naruto then said, "Say your prayers." And as he says that, he's already in front of Kakuzu, and that was body flicker, something that he learned from Shisui, like I said multiple times. And then literally through the Rasen Shuriken, and Kakuzu realized that he's dead, and the Rasen Shuriken explodes up in the sky, and Team 10 sees this, and by the time they arrive there, they see Kakuzu's body while Naruto's standing over it. Well, not over it, just looking at it, and basically looks back and says, "There's no need to thank me. I'll see you." And of course, then as soon as Naruto was about to leave, Shikamaru did shadow possession to him, and basically Naruto, well, he was trying to take Naruto's mask off, and basically Naruto then says, "Wait a second. I helped you because I owed two of you a favor. And so, I'm going to be leaving now. This shadow possession is kinda weak, since I already know how to get rid of it." And basically then Naruto just turns into, blue feathers, and that's something only Tsuki has seen, so these two really don't know about Naruto's blue feather thing. Of course, Naruto could have used it against, when Tsuki hugged him, but of course, he didn't want to, give away his true identity straight away, but of course, Tsuki did 1+1, and, she came up with 2, and, that was Naruto. Anywho, of course, now, Sasuke kills Orochimaru and goes off to fight, Itachi, and Naruto actually wants, to know what happened to Shisui, and basically so he goes to Itachi because he definitely knows, and basically Naruto has been spying on the Akatsuki, Itachi especially, and basically actually arrives before what's his name, before Sasuke, and asks him everything, and Itachi gives him the whole entire truth, and basically Naruto's like, "Are you sure you really want to die?" But hands of Sasuke, and of course Itachi then says, "Allow me to handle this," and basically Naruto's like, "Alright then, but you give me Shisui's eye." And basically, Itachi's like, "Why?" And basically, then Naruto says, "I know Tsuki has the Monkekyo, and Shisui had it. I don't want her to go blind. I know everything about the Uchiha's eyes, their powers. I've heard from a lot of people, and I want the eye. I want to give it to Tsuki. Give her or I'll kill you myself." And of course, then Itachi then says, "I'm more than glad to give it, especially because Tsuki deserves it." And then he lets the crow go, and Naruto takes the crow back to the village, and during this time Itachi still dies, and Sasuke joins Akatsuki, and Jiraiya still goes to Pain, and he nearly dies and returns, and once he returns, Naruto actually arrives into the village, and basically says to the crow to go to Tsuki, and basically the crow was carrying a little scroll with him, and when Tsuki read this, it was from Naruto, and Naruto says that his mission is nearly over, he'll be returning with Sasuke soon, but as for now, this is a gift, this is something that he's found, and the other one is with someone called Danzo. And of course Naruto doesn't really know who Danzo is because he's never met him, but of course Tsuki does. And then now Tsuki wants to know the truth, but she hears about Jiraiya, and there is a lot of commotion, and basically while Naruto was walking away, and Naruto was actually next to Tsuki's home, and basically he sees Tsuki he sees Tsuki running out with the crow, and and she's asking Kakashi what happened to Jiraiya, and basically Naruto's like, "Father, what happened to him?" And so he actually uses his stealth abilities to actually sneak in there, and he hears everything, and basically he hears that the leader of the Akatsuki will be coming here, and Naruto now has a dilemma. Either he's going to have to leave the village and allow the the leader of the Akatsuki to come here for the Nine Tails, because they don't know that the Nine Tails is actually outside the village, or he goes to find Sasuke and bring him back to the village, but by the time he returns, the village might be destroyed. But anyway, so Naruto is contemplating between this, and so he actually decides to remain. And once Pain actually arrives and attacks, Naruto actually appears out of nowhere and says, "That's enough." And basically, Pain looks at Naruto, and basically all the Pains actually stop in the tracks, and Naruto just says, "That's enough. I told you. If you want me, you're not fighting here. We're fighting somewhere else." And of course, Tsuki, Jiraiya, everyone pretty much saw this, and basically, Naruto then says, "If you really want to capture me, you'll fight me somewhere else. or I'll kill you all in the spot. And basically, Pain's that we don't want any distractions, so I guess we'll take you with us. And basically, they went to the Valley of the End, and basically here is where the true fight began. And uh, of course, Tsuki tried to follow them, but of course Naruto actually misled them to a different location by actually making clones and transforming into Pains. And she went the wrong way, and of course Naruto and the rest actually began a fight. Of course, Naruto was able to destroy all the Pains easily, and pull back his gloves that he had on. And in the end, actually Takano Jutsuing well, what's his name, Nagato, to actually just go to the Leaf Village and join them, while he goes on finishes off the mission that he started. And Nagato actually decides to say yes, and in the end he returns to the Leaf Village, where Naruto brings him here, and basically Nagato explains everything, and he's accepted in the village. And Tsuki had her transplant, and basically Tsunade was never in a coma, but Tsuki confronted Danzo about the eye, and basically showed that she had one of the Mangekyo Sharingans, and basically she used her pink Susanoo, which had Shisui's spear now. But anywho, now Danzo actually gives the eye up because he doesn't want to get killed, and of course he tries to actually steal the other eye, but then the broken mask appears out of nowhere, who's actually watching everything, and Naruto just says, "One more step and I'll kill you." And of course, Tsuki got the other eye, and she just implanted it into herself, and literally, she got the eternal monkey Sharingan on her eye as well. And yeah, of course now she has two EMS, both the EMS. But anywho, of course Naruto, who actually has healing abilities because of the Naruto's, and the Naruto's actually taught Naruto how to do this, and he's actually giving Naruto some chakra. Of course Naruto knows that, but of course the Naruto's is only is basically, it's a win-win situation for both of them. So basically Naruto accepts the fact that if he loses the fight when they fight in the future, the Naruto's can take over Naruto's body and do whatever he wants. But of course, as for now, since he's living there, he's have to pay rent because Naruto wants to use his abilities of healing, and so he did it. And Naruto then said, "I'll be returning soon," and basically just left. And Tsuki was still baffled on why Naruto's still doing this. Like, he may as well just stay in the village, but of course Naruto cannot. Naruto cannot stay in the village because once he returns to the village, officially, he's just gonna give himself in, and he's just gonna live as a prisoner at first. And once he's out, he wants to live his own life as a villager. But of course now uh Naruto finds out about Killer Bee getting captured. Of course he's not really captured, but in the end Sasuke gets the eternal monkey. Well, no, he still goes to the Five Kage Summit. Naruto has to head there too, and in the end they see the fight. And Danzo actually went there because he actually begged it, but in the end Sasuke was able to kill Danzo, and Danzo tried to use the Izanagi, and he flopped. And Tsuki arrived, and both Sakura, and they said that if they all fight, they will all die. And basically, that's a lie, because Tsuki could annihilate Sasuke right there on the spot. She could just cut him down, and Naruto could do that too. Naruto could kill all of them at the same time, to be honest, right now, especially because he's so OP. But anyway, of course, Obito declares the fourth great ninja war for Naruto, Uzumaki, and basically just saying, when Naruto was actually talking to Jutsu Nagato, something that happened is that Obito took one of Nagato's eyes. That's something I forgot to mention. But anyway, of course, now that Obito has the Rinnegan, he can actually declare war. And in the end, the five nations actually couldn't really come together because they don't know where Naruto was. But of course, Naruto declared that he's not going to be in anyone's control. He's going to fight his own war. And in the end, it was a fight against Akatsuki. It was literally a fight against all of the shinobi against Naruto, basically, to cap who can get the Naruto's first. Since Naruto is not part of any specific village, in the end decides to actually give himself in to the Shinobi Alliance, which was actually made by, thanks to Jiraiya's Takano Jutsu. And in the end, Naruto actually goes to the same place where Killer Bee fought the Eight Tails, and now Naruto has to fight the Nine Tails just as per normal. And here Naruto's not really friends with anyone there, but of course once he actually masters KCM He actually leaves the cage open, but of course he's only on KCM 1 because he can't go KCM 2 straight away. But in the end, Samahara still turns out to be, Kisame, and Guy takes care of him. But of course, in the end, Kisame commits suicide. But here is where the changes happen. Naruto and Killer Bee go two different ways. Killer Bee actually goes to one of the platoons, Garo's platoon, while Naruto actually sent a clone with Killer Bee there, and Naruto's gone on his own to actually, his own way and doing his shit. But anyway, of course, Naruto still sees Edo Itachi, but no Edo, what's his name? Since there is no Edo Nagato. But of course, Tsuki found out about Naruto and she headed straight towards him with her perfect Susanoo. And she saw that Naruto was fighting, Itachi, and basically, Tsuki asked Naruto if what was happening, and basically Naruto just said that use your Koto Matsukami. I know it might be hard, but use it on Itachi. If you use it, then you can free him, and then he can go fight Kabuto to actually stop the reanimation jutsu. And of course, Tsuki does it, and in the end, he goes on his own way. Naruto goes on his own way, and Tsuki wants to go with Naruto, but Naruto tells her to go back to her platoon. She can't be here, or her platoon will be weaker. And basically, in the end, Naruto still faces Obito and all the other Jinchuriki. And basically here is where Naruto's fight is completely different. Naruto doesn't even need to go KCM 1 to actually beat the Four Tails Jinchuriki, because Naruto is that strong. And imagine it, Naruto needed KCM 1 to just free the Four Tails, while like Itachi and Kisame were able to near enough kill the Four Tails Jinchuriki when he was still alive, and they didn't need KCM. That's actually really impressive. But anyway, and that was just Kisame. Itachi didn't even fight. But anywho, let's not talk about that. Now, Naruto, of course, began the fight, and he went into KCM 1 after freeing the Four Tails and getting his chakra, and because all of them were attacking Naruto at once, and Might Guy and Kakashi came in the end, and Naruto said that he didn't need their help, and he let out the the Nine Tails avatar, and in the end he saved all the tail beasts, and all the tail beasts gave Naruto a substantial amount of chakra. And Naruto is way too OP. Naruto then actually throws who of course he had kunais in all the platoons. He actually teleports in each one to see how they're doing, and then he sees Madara Uchiha. Of course here Naruto gets kind of startled, but Jiraiya tells Naruto to go away and go somewhere else. Madara's too hard for him, and basically Naruto then says, alright then, but right before I leave, then he throws a kunai at Madara, which Madara catches easily with like one finger, well, two fingers, and basically Naruto's like, oh, I guess you didn't notice what that was. And basically Madara's like, and Naruto teleports him next to Madara, and Madara's like, oh, so Tobirama's technique. And basically Naruto, being so strong that even just 1% shuriken, literally in his base form, was so strong that even Edo Madara couldn't stop himself. Madara was able to tank a massive Rasen shuriken, but of course this Rasen shuriken had so much power that even Edo Madara had only his arms left, and they tried to seal him, but in the end he used the Rinnegan and the wood clones to actually summon the Susanoo, and Naruto was told to get away, and Naruto says that Madara, I'll be able to seal you away once we fight properly. Of course, unless you lose to the 5 Kage and my godfather. And of course now Naruto leaves and returns with Kakashi and Guy, who are actually fighting the Master Man, same as Killer Bee. Now Killer Bee is actually there too, and in the end they find out about Obito, and here and the fight goes a bit similar until the 4 Kage arrive. Of course here Naruto, who has all these techniques now. When the Tento's underlings actually arrive, not only is there 2 people with the perfect Susanoo, but Naruto has this technique where he can actually multiply. Well, no, of course he has the Shadow Kunai Jutsu, but of course he can do it multiple times for one kunai. So not only so imagine one becomes into 100, he can actually make it into 1,000, and each one of them, he engulfs them with the lightning and the wind release chakra, which will make them super OP, and each one of them creates an explosion. So Naruto has literally a minigun of explosions, or basically a grenade launcher. But anyway, now of course, I mean, his Rasen shurikens are literally atomic bombs, which can fucking rip you to molecular levels. But anyway, of course, in the end, Obito becomes the 10 toes Jinchuriki, and Naruto, bodies Obito. I'm joking. Anyway, of course, Naruto and Sasuke, in the end, fight together, but it's Tsuki who actually, helps out Naruto to actually, create the majestic, what's it called? The majestic armored Susanoo. I'm joking, the armored Kurama. But in the end, since they both have Sage Mode, it just amplifies it even further, which they were actually able to pull out all the Tail Beast easily. And Obito, was talking Jutsu, but in the end, Zetsu made him revive Madara, and Madara pulled out Naruto, literally pulled out the Nine Tails, and Naruto was dying, and Sasuke got killed. Even Tsuki was about to get killed, but of course she got saved by Minato. And in the end, Tsuki just was with Minato at this point, and then my guy actually came out of nowhere and said that it's his time to fight. And anywho, of course, now the 8 Gates Night Guy thing goes the same, while Naruto actually gets his power boost. And Naruto's so strong here that basically he doesn't even need that much power. All he needs is that a bit, just unlocking the thing, Truth Seeker orbs, and getting his Rikudo Sage Mode. But anywho, Sage 6 for Sage Mode, and yeah, that's pretty much it for Naruto to literally go back to his normal self. But here is where the things change. Naruto, of course, Sasuke gets his Rinnegan as per normal Rinne Sharingan, but Naruto was given a bit more power, which actually activates his true potential. And basically what happens is that Naruto actually gets a Rinne Sharingan of his own, and this Rinne Sharingan belongs to the Sage of Six Paths. And basically Naruto has this ability where see the opponent's future movement. So basically he has full sight with his Rinnegan, and of course he has the teleportation thing. Naruto's Rinnegan so OP that he can even actually go well, of course, has full sight, teleportation, and all the other Rinnegan abilities that came with it. And Nagato's still alive, and so in the end, so since Obito didn't have both the Rinnegan, Nagato, well, of course, was ripped out of his Rinnegan, and he didn't have any eyes left. But of course, once Naruto returned, not only did he regenerate Nagato's normal eyes and regenerate Kakashi's eye, Obito in the end still asked Naruto to make his Sharingan. Well, of course, he gives back his Sharingan, well, Kakashi Sharingan. Basically, Naruto makes him a new one, and in the end, Obito's one actually becomes a Rinnegan, and basically the Rinnegan bargain happens again. And so both Kakashi and Obito have 2 Rinnegans each. Naruto has a Rinne Sharingan, Sasuke has a Rinne Sharingan, and basically Tsuki's the only one left out. But in the end, the well, of course, the infinite Tsukiyomi was still casted on the world, and everyone except for Naruto, Sasuke, Tsuki, Kakashi, and Obito, even Sakura was saved. And in the end, all of them fight together. But of course, Kaguya gets revived, and they get warped away to her dimension, not dimension. Anywho, now once they're in Kaguya's dimension, Naruto tells everyone to stand back, and basically Naruto can see what will happen next, and basically then uses his teleportation, because Naruto was so fast that he actually threw a kunai behind him and used his well, not even a thing of his Rinnegan ability, but used literally the Flying Raijin, and literally had a Rasengan ready and smashed it into Kaguya, because Kaguya's next move was actually to use her warp gate to warp her hands next to them, and that's what's gonna happen. But Naruto actually came in the way, and in the end smashed the Rasengan into her. I kind of stand the wrong, but anyway, now Naruto could see full sight where she flew up in the air, and they teleported to a different dimension. But basically Naruto, while she was actually about to float up float up in the air, Naruto used a Truth Seeker orb, well, 2 of them, to actually make 2 katanas, and basically Naruto used the 2 sword style. I'm joking, but anyway, Naruto slashed Kaguya twice, right, like in the next shape, and basically then he actually used lava and boil release and acid release at the same time, and everyone was completely confused on how strong Naruto is. And basically then Naruto actually took the fight to himself, and he created well, he summoned the the Chroma avatar, and in the end he actually used two massive ascent shurikens with the Chroma avatar, with the True Seeker orbs, and with boil release, acid release, and lava release put together, and creating a release so strong that even Kaguya could not stand it, and in the end Kaguya was annihilated. Naruto got the Karma Seal, but once he arrived, once they returned to the real world, everyone was completely baffled on how strong Naruto is. Sasuke gave up before he even started fighting, even though he could have took the 10 toes, well, not the 10 toes, the 9 tailed beast. Sasuke knows that even Naruto, with half the 9 toes, can still use all the tail beast's chakra, and he could do the same thing that he did to Kaguya. He's like, nope, I'm good. And of course, Naruto, everyone returned to the village, and Naruto returned. He gave himself into, the the prison, and in the end Naruto was let out with Sasuke, and everything went down as per normal, except for Naruto giving Naruto still gave back the headband to Sasuke, and Sasuke took it. But then Sasuke asked where Naruto's one was, and if he's going to become Hokage, and Naruto says no, he's not. He's just going to spend the rest of his life with his beloved, and basically just looks towards Tsuki. Tsuki just blushes, and basically Naruto then knows who the next. Of course, Kakashi is the sixth Hokage, but Naruto already knows who the seventh will be, and that will definitely be Tsuki, because of Tsuki's all the things Tsuki did for the village. Tsuki will be nominated as the next Hokage. Of course, Naruto could be the next one because he protected the village in the shadows, but Naruto will become basically the Hinata of Boruto. But there's going to be some differences in Boruto, since Naruto is still the strongest character in the whole entire series. The Hokage doesn't have to be the strongest in the village. That's been proven multiple freaking times. For example, Kakashi, he was not the strongest. Both Naruto, even Lee, if he went 8 gates, and Sasuke easily could have beat the hell out of Kakashi, but of course Kakashi was still the Hokage. It's about leadership, and of course the consultant of the Hokage is still Shikamaru, and everything goes the same. Naruto and Tsuki get married in the end, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna end off. I've been recording for 2 hours. Of course, it's been more than 2 hours. I started at 8 o'clock. Now it's 12:50, which has been like 5 hours now. And I took a lot of breaks, but still, out of those 5 hours, 2 hours were just recording. Hope you enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King who weaves it. Don't forget to subscribe to Ratreet, Miniman123, and also Hxmesh, and my second channel, The King of Noobs. All the links are in the description below. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Shokin on Instagram, and don't forget to join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below. And Black Friday is coming up. Go buy yourself some good quality anime merch from Beautiful Halo. Sign up with my link, buy with my link, support the channel, and that's link in the description below. And don't forget to use code MEME, MEME, for 5% off on your next $49 order. And if it's $99 order, if it's $99 plus order, of course you can get 10% off if it's that, with the same code MEME. And you, my darklings, you're dismissed. Stay safe, and I love you all. Thank you for 12,000 subscribers, and yeah, goodbye.